thing looks huge in the garage. Weird. I mean, look, it's like right there. It doesn't seem like that out in the field. It seems much smaller. Right, what I'm doing. So, pulled it out of the barn, directly went to the grass, got my leaf blower, and tried to blow all the chicken poop, the bird poop, the loose straw, cobwebs after cobwebs after cobwebs. Spiders, I don't know what it is, but they love the hay and anything to do with hay. So, backed it in here last night, parked it. Right before I went to bed, I set off bug bombs, little foggers, you know, and fogged the garage. So that way, as I'm sticking my head in there, I'll only get caught in spider webs one time. The next time I put my head back in there won't be a new spider web because the spiders are dead. So I just got to clear them out once. It'll be fine. So what I'm doing is these rollers go on the plunger, which the plunger is inside there. Once I get it out, I will show you. See how far I can get today, but that's the plan. I got just changed those rollers because it's been 3 seasons that I haven't been in there to do anything, so I want to get those new rollers in. I got new knives to put in. I got new twine knives to put on, and I was wanting to check all the wiring on that moisture meter thing because it doesn't read correctly all the time. I battle it. So I don't know if I need to change the wires or just make sure the connections are good. I'll check it out. Other than that, I think it's good. Here we go. Okay, quick update. I didn't even touch you. Why you gotta be so dramatic? Goodness. Okay, so we had to take these doors off. Of course, took this thing out of the way. Took that star out of the way. Took those little fins out of the way. I'm gonna see if we can leave this and go over the top and not have to take these off. I don't know. That's where we're at right now. See, there's those little guys. So right now is I got my strap right there to hang on to it once they're. So we'll spin it around, take these 2 bolts off, and then this is the plunger that'll take off and slide right out of there, I hope. No fighting, no cussing. Okay. Easy does it. Tiger. Okay, yeah. If you can go slowly, let slowly out. Yep. Nice and easy. Keep her going. Oh boy, easy. It's a slippery slope, man. You gotta be nice with it. Go ahead. Oh, easy. Oh, go ahead. Oh, stuck? That's it. Shoot. Okay. Now, whoa, don't go anywhere. 2 before. That one that yeah, that's perfect. Okay, and then that will go falling and crashing and scare us to death here in a minute. You got tension on it?
Yep.
Ready? Okay, come my way. More. Darn. It's hitting big bolts. Pull it back just a little bit. Okay, now easy forward. Not gonna work. Okay, pull her back. Down, down. Hey. All right. Thanks, sir.
Yep.
See you later. That's the workhorse. That's what makes everything happen. So, got that out. Now we got to get these changed. As you can see, that is not supposed to be there, or that is where this should be. And yeah, it's worn down. These guys, I'm very surprised. The OD outside is supposed to be 2 inches, right at 2.00. The narrowest one that I found, I think, was this guy, and it was 1.96. The rest of them were about like 1.98. I didn't really find one that's really bad. That one looks like it's crooked, or maybe this one's crooked, but no, I think everyone rolls nice and acts nice, so I think it's okay. I mean, I'm not going to run it because I already got it out, so I'm going to change those blades, change those blades, and get this thing put back in there, and yeah, should be pretty easy. Got those off. They go on there like that. You can see that big old wear point on there. So, let's see. Let's turn that over. Put that on top of there. Somewhere, yeah. There's some wear. It's not huge, but it's some. And I tell you, the difference in the edge, boy, that is sharp. That butter knife. So these come out. They had those two for that guy, single shim. That's how I'm going to put it back together. There's the other new one. The unwrapping. Woo! Ooh, so pretty. Let's see the difference on these guys here. This one takes a lot of abuse. That really not that bad. Very surprising. It's just where those that's from the old tedder of Dad's. We'd lose tines all the time on the tedder. Of course, the baler would find it. It'd get fluffed up into a windrow, and of course, you're not going to be able to see it. You bail it up, and all of a sudden, pow, bang, boom, plug it up. Guess what? There's a tine. That is from a tine. Look how much that's worn down. It's a pretty good amount. Whoop. Whoop. Okay, so imagine this is the plunger coming this direction. These sit down on the bottom. They're fixed. The plunger's coming like this, and it'll slice the hay just like that. So it's kind of a, it literally is a shear. Slice. That's why they need to be so sharp. They need to be shimmed correctly. I got to look up the gap. It's pretty tight. It's pretty scary how tight it is. But I mean, it's smaller than an alfalfa stem. When I set these old ones before, I was really scared because my old baler, there was an adjustment on the back of the plunger that I didn't know about, and when that plunger would come forward, running it by hand, everything was fine. The clearance was fine. But when you got hay in there and there was force, that plunger would kick forward. The back end would come up and those knives would collide because they were so close together. So when I set these new ones up 3 years ago when I did this, I was scared and I didn't get the tolerance tight enough because I didn't want to crash everything. So this year I got total confidence. That's why I changed all those rollers. Yeah, new knives, and I'm going to set it right. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Gap between the plunger knives, ledger knives, gap must be 0.040 to 0.070. Yeah, anyway. So, add all these together, and I've got 0.070 here. I've got 0.70. It's a little tight there, but that's okay. That is tighter than 0.70. We are good. That's a little bit bigger than what it should be, but it's okay. If I was to add a shim on either side, I think I would be too tight. So I'm going to leave it right where it's at. So I'm going through the book and I'm looking at all the adjustments and lubrication and maintenance. Just looking, and I'm looking at all the adjustments and I'm thinking, maybe I should dial this in a little bit better. Maybe I should check this, do that. And as it's been said many times, if it's working, if it ain't broke, don't touch it. That's where I'm at. I was thinking, I'll just put a little weld onto these because you can see they're already worn back a little bit. I'm thinking, nah, put them back in. It's making bales just fine. The only thing I did find is the spring tension here. So it needs to be 2.264 inches on the spring length. And last year before, it doesn't matter, a tire got into here, pushed on that, which that came in and pushed on these as it was running. So every one of these got bent. So I had to replace all these bolts. And I was just going off of what threads were there before. There was always like 2 threads or 3 threads showing. So I just tightened it to that. Well, this is the slip clutch to the power coming in and going through the slip clutch to the flywheel, gearbox, all that. So if something back here is really, I don't know, causing issues or something like that, then the slip clutch will spin and not spin this guy and hopefully not shear the flywheel shear bolt. So I don't know if that thing's ever spun. I know we sheared plenty of bolts last year, and I'm going to go ahead and loosen this up just a little bit because it's yeah, basically 2¼ inches from there to there. And right now it's like 2 1/8 or 2 inches, somewhere out in there. So I'm going to loosen those up just a little bit. That's not going to hurt anything, because if it does start slipping, no big deal. Tighten it up in the field. Other than that, I'm not going to touch anything else. I think it'd be a bad idea. Working on the twine knife. So here's the old. And it's got, you might not see it on camera, but there's a couple gouges right there. Little rough spots. Most of the cutting happens out here, not much up here, but yeah, you can see the shiny spot where it always cuts, but that's a couple dull spots. This, ooh, shiny, new, pretty. So, piece of cake. Slide the new one in. Sounds like I got a delivery. Probably not mine. I don't have any money left after that truck. I still ain't got the bill. I'm really scared. When engineers design this, they're like, yeah, we got plenty of meat here. Let's, I think 4 threads ought to suffice. That ought to hold it fine. 4 threads? Ha! Let's just make the bolt 15 threads long then. Got a couple bent ones, but I don't care. I'd rather just get the ones, I mean, this is right in the middle, so change those dudes out quick. Wrong size. Yeah, that's 1/2 inch. You need 9/16. Oh boy, it's gonna hurt. Better break it loose. Yeah. Washer, nut. Same one. Oh, yeah, yeah. Just look how much wore. Yeah. Still picks up hay. It's a 3-hand job, but only room for 2. Ah. Oh, twisted on me. All right, let's see if we can get this hay dog. Put some never sees on this because it was pretty rusty. Okay. Got a pry bar action. There. A bit at a time. Okay, where you at? Ah, yeah, baby. And I did figure out that this side, the way they got it designed, is the nut. I don't know if it was, I think it's a plate. Yeah, it is. It's a plate right there that they welded on. Anyway, it captures this nut as you tighten it down. It fits into the shape of the nut in that plate. See, it's its own locking. It's a lock nut anyway. You got to come in from over here with a universal. Hold on to that guy. It's gonna fall low. Yep, we'll call that good. I don't remember if I showed you or not, but see these teeth? See how they're worn out? They're gone. This what it's supposed to look like. $76 for a piece of curved steel with a couple holes and teeth ground in it. And it's soft steel. It's not even hard. If it was hard, it would last. Jerks. I don't know if you can hear the birds in the background, but there's a starling. It makes a nest there in that little playhouse thing. I imagine it's the same one every year, but anyway, didn't know if you knew, but a starling can mimic the sound of many, many different birds. And one of them is a hawk. And it'll sit there and make its little scream. And it's not a hawk, it's actually the starling. There's part of it. It's the, yeah. If you hear any bird, it's that starling, because it's the only one singing out there. All the rest of them are, can't really hear it. Yeah, this little handle here. Wee-yah! There we go. Now we're not doing a burnout no more. How much pressure we got? Some, but I'm going to put more. I'm going to move this guy back to try to get as much pressure on this to this as possible, because when it resets, it ka-chunks whatever and comes and slams against this, and this is still moving, that wheel's still moving, so it does a little burnout on it, and that's what ruins those teeth right there on that gear. So I'm going to try to get just a little more tension on it and see how that works. I got to get the right wrench. I left it loose, but yeah, there goes that bird again. Oh, it don't like it. That's gonna do it, whether it wants to or not. Got grease on me again. Okay, there's one. Ultimate spring tension. Remember what I said? If it's working, don't mess with it. It was working, but not really, because we had to replace this bar every season. So this measures the bail length. So wherever you set this is however long the bail is going to be. So we got to go for 30 to 34 inch bales. And usually it's pretty consistent. We'll get 34 inch bales, okay? So the more you go this way, the longer the bale gets. Anyhow, what happens is when this sits there and does a burnout, there's bale length happening here, but this is not measuring. So it's just sitting there and spinning and not measuring. So when it gets down to that little nook down here, that cutout, that's what triggers the knotters and says, hey, go ahead and tie a bale, we're at the right length. So it goes and does it. But if that sits there and spins and this doesn't go up, then the bales come out, you know, 38 to 48. I mean, sometimes I've seen 5-foot bales. It's crazy. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. That farming is a non-stop experiment. Not a big deal. Just okay, there goes paint. Just something to make things a little handier. So if I gotta grease this thing, I gotta get a wrench, a 1/2-inch wrench. No big deal, it's right there in the toolbox, but I just weld a little tab on there, and now it's a thumb screw, because it's not anything that really needs to be tight. It just needs to stay there for a minute. And then the next one is this guy, which I would like to get some sort of handle on here, but the bummer is that is right there. If I put any bolts underneath, it could impede. So I'll just keep using screwdriver. Anyhow, now I got little thumb screws on this access cover. So if there's a clog, I come back here, I can take this off and reach down in there, pull that stuff out, and see if there's a foreign object in there. And now, since I put these on there, I don't have to have a wrench. I know it's not matching red, but it's the can of spray paint that I got that was on sale, and it's red. Oh, I was wondering. Yep. Bummer. This one works. Yep. This one does not, because that one is too long. Yeah. No big deal. I got a tool to take care of that. That's better. Oh, that ain't going nowhere. Finished. Ready for the field. Went ahead and washed it real quick, because, you know, barn dust. Hey, dirty piggies. What's up, dirty piggies? Anyway, it's ready. I'm ready. We've got rain. We just had 1.5 inches of rain. That was not really forecasted. So we're going to cut today or tomorrow. That's not going to happen because we can't cut through mud puddles. We can, we just choose not to. So we're going to wait till, I don't know, next week, week after. We'll see what the forecast brings. But yeah, complete, ready to go. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.